welcoming all our viewers to today's program, International Affairs, being broadcast from the Dhaka's Gulshan studio. My name is Shamsul Alam Pantho, the host of the program. I will bring you all the updates regarding the world. Of course, there has been a ceasefire of 2 weeks proposed by Pakistan towards the US and Iran. Not only so, last night Donald Trump took to his social handle and he had made a remark that said that tonight will be the end of a civilization. That has caused a huge uproar in geopolitical circles. Yet that deadline of 8 in the afternoon, 8 in the evening, that before that happened, 1 hour before it, Donald Trump and of course not only the US but as well as Iran has declared victory. Both sides have declared victory and called for a ceasefire. We will discuss all of these events with you all for a better understanding of this world. But before I do so, let me introduce all my panel. Here in the studio, I have senior journalist Mr. Abdul Bari, who is of course a permanent member of the Press Club. I welcome you onto the program today. It is very important for you to understand as well how important this show would be regarding the US position across not only its 50 states but around the world. Alongside, we have Norman Floyd Barnes, our geopolitical analyst and correspondent from Washington, District of Columbia. I want to begin with Norman, who has always been saying that this was a hot mess. This situation in the Middle East has been escalating for the last 40 days. And right now, we see a common pattern with US President Donald Trump. At the very end, he had agreed to a 2-week ceasefire proposed by Pakistan. I want to know more. How is Norman Floyd Barnes feeling about this? Whereas there was supposed to be a huge escalation happening, there is now a very fragile ceasefire. I'll have to use the word fragile once more, as both sides are declaring victory in their audiences. I want to know how Norman feels about this issue. Norman.
Good morning and welcome to the world of geopolitics. The United States and Iran had yesterday evening was able to come to a agreement to set up a ceasefire to have a what do you call a 10-day, or it may be more, maybe less, stay in violence. That's the only way I can put it. Including that is the deal on how we're going to guarantee safe passage for ships coming through the Strait of Hormuz. Regarding that, we're waiting to see the details of it. And a couple of things I noticed. One, the Israelis, they has said, yes, we agree, we'll co-agree with the United States on the ceasefire. However, our battle with Hezbollah in Lebanon will continue. There was rockets fired yesterday. As a matter of fact, there was rockets fired and destroyed, a bridge destroyed in Iran, and also rockets was also sent and landed in Israel. So this is, like I say, becoming a pattern. Ceasefire is really not a ceasefire. It's just a calming of the parties to get a chance to talk about what they want to do. The second part is, yes, there was a verbal agreement of a ceasefire, but no one, no side, Israelis or the United States, has designated when this will start. So yes, there's a conversation. There's supposed to be a meeting in Pakistan to talk about the details, but no one has stated we will start this ceasefire today, tomorrow, next week, or next year. So we're waiting to see exactly when this ceasefire will commence and to what details it include. And the Strait of Hormuz is still up in the air, exactly who can go through. The conversation was that it will be escorted by the Iranians, who's supposed to have no navy, as stated. They will be escorting the ships through the strait, but who pays the toll?
Right.
Good morning.
Of course, who pays the toll is a very important question that puts the audience to the Strait of Hormuz, how it will be conducted in the next 2 weeks. For a contrary perspective, I want to let our viewers know, last year during the 12-day war, there was a notion sent by Donald Trump towards Iran that there has a 2-week timeline to understand, to cease of its hostilities. However, after giving of the 2-week timeline, in about 2 days, there was attacks on the various nuclear facilities of Iran. So that's a contrary to last year. I want to understand the situation more in the studio with senior journalist Abdul Bari. You were hearing Norman and his curiosity regarding the Strait of Hormuz. Donald Trump had made a comment yesterday that labeled him as a genocidal leader. He said that an entire civilization shall be wiped out. However, such a issue has not been raised due to this ceasefire of 2 weeks. How are you seeing this issue as it unfolds?
We have a experience about it. We already discussed this issue the past time. The last show we tell about it. All the weapons is used by the America. The first was sanction, is finished. Next was the psychological war, that's also finished, and Iran won. And the last was the physical strike or the physical war. We discussed elaborately last talk show. But now you said what we said and what we comments about the war, everything executed in total, which we discuss here in this SATV talk show. That is already happened. The last was what? Last was every attempt of the Donald Trump will be failed. We told about it. He was threatened to the Iran. If the Iran is not come under the signing or the peace ceasefire, then the big massacre is waiting for the Iran. Iran is not take it very seriously. They said whatever it is, as because they lost their main beloved leader, Ayatollah Khamenei. So nothing there is to be lost. So they are thinking that we have to do or die policy. So they don't care about all types of the threats of Donald Trump. That's why Donald Trump also came in big odd position. The local people of the America is agitated, is started in between local people and his party men and the Congress. They are not allowed Mr. Donald Trump to run this war. Donald Trump, what was Donald Trump is thinking that within the 7 days they will defeat Iran. 7 days is fast. That's why he did not take any permission from the proper authority to run the war. But when they are thinking that the year is not finished, so the 30 days over, 32 days over, 37 days is over, there is no way. Donald is a horns of dilemma. What he have to do? He will run the war or stop the war or surrender to the Iran, or he will hand over his power to the resignation. There is no way. And many types of the pressure is already put in the head of the that is Obama. That is Donald Trump.
Right.
As Donald Trump is trying to find out if I got any 1 point to escape, then I will apply. So the 1 point they got by the negotiation of the Pakistan. The Pakistan is a our-like country. Pakistan is not the high-level country. Pakistan's status is internationally is not equal with the America and others to be the negotiation. The people can think about this negotiation, can do the France, then do the Germany, can do the big country. But you look, the third world countries, one Pakistan is the leading country to bring them in the negotiation table. So this is the big victory of the ASEAN also, as because Pakistan is doing very good and whole world is in big problem. The Yemen has been back among the world people. Everybody is conscious about it. What would be the next, as because the reservoirs of the fuel is coming finished, and what will be the next? Civilization, Trump already told, we will finish the civilizations of the Iran. Everything was very dangerous position. After the signing or the agreements of this ceasefire, the Yemen has back among the all over the world. The tension is now over. So what is written on that agreement? The 10 point was this. First was the Hormuz. The
reopening of the Hormuz
reopening of the Hormuz. What Trump told? Trump told the Iranian army will coordinate to pass the ship At the same time, international maritime organizations, they declared that 400 ships is waiting to cross Hormuz Pranali, Hormuz Strait. So that's why we are thinking the most important and the priority was to open the Hormuz Strait. So this is the priority, as because the America is allowed Iranian army to coordinate the Hormuz Strait. So it's a one kind of victory of the Iran. We can say it about to arrange signing or the commitment to finish war permanently. What does mean by it? The mean is that you need to stop and commit. So America is coming to do war. America is start war. If America committed that we will not go to start any war anywhere, then there is nobody will not come. So it's the one kinds of achievements of the Iran, and not only that, regional conflict in between the Arab country, somewhere the Houthi and the others, Lebanon, Israel, etc. Every is a unrest is going on among the Middle East. So regional conflict. So that's also the third point. Fourth point, save the naval route. Yes, so naval route need to do save, as because my ship, I am the traders. My ship will pass any type of the ocean. We have need to follow the international rules and regulation. Within this territory, nobody is not entitled to attack us. So if we made the safe naval route law or any signing or any agreement, then the naval route will be safe. No need to spend lot of money to guarding the ship. So this is also the one good
and
point.
Not just that, every ship has some level of insurance premium that is being affected every day because of the halt in the ocean.
Due to this region, not only that, another, the sanction, we told about the sanction is a one kinds of the big opening, primary weapons of the America. If America think this man is not good, okay, this man is not doing in favor of us, okay, put sanction. If the state and the organization, America is always using sanction. So what Iran said, stop or withdraw the sanction. Withdraw the sanction. If the sanction is withdrawn from the Iran, then everything will be come back. If the sanction is withdrawn, then many of the property of the Iran has been seized by under the rules of sanction. Everything should be released. So this is the interest of the Iran. You look the first point, Iranian army will control the Hormuz. The 1 point gain of the Iran. Second, to commitment, the America will commit it to the Iran. They will sign the permanent agreement to stop the war. Regional is in favor. The safe naval route in favor of the Iran, and sanction in favor of the Iran. Release their property is in favor of Iran. At the same time, the compensation. Maybe you hear it. The
yes, Iran is asking for compensation.
I heard the speech from the international media last night. Maybe I heard it from the maybe CNN or Al Jazeera who told it. I don't know. I cannot remember in this moment. But they said that as because Iran is losing many of the structure, many of the economy generating organizations, and the establishment has been destroyed by this year. So Iran is entitled to get their compensation. So they
did mention that they must be compensated for the losses from this war.
So the Donald Trump is agreed to give them compensation. So it's also in favor of the Iran. Uranium, 1 point is America win. The American main demands, they will not allow Iran to make a
claim.
No, the uranium. But the uranium, they cannot use this atomic weapon. Atomic weapon they cannot make. This is the main demands of the America.
Right.
So in this point, America is getting. They said, okay, you are not allowed to use this uranium to make
nuclear or atomic weapons, right?
Nuclear. So that this point is in favor. Only the within 10, in my observation, only the 1 point is going in favor of the America, and they have need to take back all soldier. Yes, if the war is not, then
there is no point of having soldiers.
No, it's also losing position, losing points of the USA. USA is not withdraw their force. You look Iraq and Lebanon, Syria, everywhere. America, wherever America set up their army base, they did not withdraw. And this is first time America is agree, and by written they will take back their soldier. It's a 100% benefit goes to the Iran,
right.
And the war should be stopped then and there, not after 7 days, not 3 days, not 4 days. War should be stopped now, in
of
this
course.
moment. So, if we justify the 10 points about the signing of the ceasefire, then only the 1 point is in favor of USA and 9 points is in favor of Iran.
Right.
So, in my justice, Iran won. At the same time, I do not disagree with the America. America also won. They are going to big loss. The scope is making their safe exit from the war, and not only that, American many things has been lost. Another thing, 10th April they will go to sit in Pakistan for the final
negotiations
agreement
to see how much it's going to happen.
As because 10 point, when they made this 10 point, it is already done. They are agreed. Donald Trump also says acceptable. Acceptable after
Right.
discussion. Acceptable after discussion. Maybe the 1 point, 10 point or 5 point can be reduced, can be added. It may be amendment, but this 10 condition is confirmed. So, the result of the war is already clear to all. And then the same time, some of the men is already raised this question, what about the Israel?
Right. Israel has still did not say regarding anything over the ceasefire of
Yes.
Lebanon. The continuity is still happening.
Yes, I like to told about it as because Israel is a dependent state of America. If America told that Israel will follow. Israel already made this statement. We agree with this ceasefire agreement, but Lebanon will be out of this ceasefire condition. So, they can say about it as because Lebanon issue is not very important in this moment. Important issue to stop Iran and America war. This is the main issue. If
Right.
this big issue settle, then it would be. At the same time, I like to told you, Mr. Last time, this is not first time. This is second time. During the time of Mr. Bill Clinton, the one agreement has been signed in the premises of White House in between Israel and Yasser Arafat. The
Right.
agreement was signed. On that time, all over the world, the one dialogue was very nice. When the Israeli Prime Minister going to handshake with the Yasser Arafat is saying that although I am going to handshake with you, but still my countryman blood is already on hands of the Israeli Prime Minister. It is very painful for me to handshake with the Israeli Prime Minister, but at the same time, for the greater interest of the world and the nation, I am agreed to handshake with the Israel. Same dialogue is pronounced by the Israeli Prime Minister also. So, the result is not established.
Right.
It's not
a very important
Yes,
statements coming
established.
from your
The
table.
war is not stopping between Israel and Palestine. The war, Hamas. The war is not stopped. The many men, many property has been damaged. The agreement is not see the success of the view of success.
Right.
So in the same time, we are looking, but that agreement was imposed by the America. It was pressure to the Israel and pressure to the our Yasser Arafat. But this agreement in between America and Iran, it is not forcefully imposed to the both party. It is
Right.
amicable settlement in between main two states. So I think it will not be like the past signing agreements of the Israel and Yasser Arafat, Palestine. It not be like this. But
Let's see how far all of these updates come to
so this is
fruition.
one thing. This is the test case. If this case is successful, then the peace will back in the Middle East, and the America and all over the world will be come in cold position. If Donald Trump is successful to establish this ceasefire agreement, by this chain agreement, there is a possible Donald Trump is always very interested to get the Nobel Prize. I don't know the Nobel Prize will provide him to or
A
not.
lot of content coming from senior journalist Abdul Bari regarding the 10 points as well as whatever that has been discussed
In total
between
we discussed.
Iran as well as America. I understand that these 10 points will be the foundation stone to understand how the future shall be dictated. We know that Israel does not see as of yet how they will cease fire regarding Lebanon and southern Lebanon. It has not been on the talks. It is very important to understand, to break down how these leaders are going to come back on the negotiating table and how cooler heads will prevail. It's time to take a very short break. Afterwards, I want to ask Norman how he sees as other countries are coming in to welcome such a ceasefire between the US and Iran. I will discuss that after a short commercial break. Hello and welcome to International Affairs, and my name is Shamsul Alam Pantha.
I don't see an easy resolution to this because every slight deviation from the plan,
opening an open war conflict with them.
testing nuclear missiles.
Russia's announcement of these supposedly successful testing
Special and exclusive footage that is being played on SATV screen.
Really coming to terms with Hamas.
Damage estimated between this entire issue.
President Trump is expected to hold bilateral talks.
Preserving biodiversity and tackling climate change.
We cannot protect the planet before we negotiate peace.
Where is it going? Is it understanding the needs of its people before the needs of this global world?
For China to come to agreement,
They will face better projects.
With presidency of China and President Lee of South Korea.
Trump's White House that is in favor of these things.
simply not enough action being taken to address the problem of fossil fuels.
What their plan initially is towards the Caribbean, a place that has been met with two types of disasters.
Bangladeshi students at the same level of opportunity internationally and domestically.
International Affairs. Watch every Sunday to Thursday at 2 p.m. only on SATV and SATV Digital. Hello and welcome to International Affairs, and my name is Shamsul Alam Pantha.
I don't see an easy resolution to this because every slight deviation from the plan,
Opening an open war conflict with them.
Testing
Welcoming all our viewers back on International Affairs. Today I'm joined in the studio with senior journalist Abdul Bari as well as our geopolitical correspondent from Washington DC. I want to ask him, India, China, Egypt as well as the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres welcomes this ceasefire between the two sides, between US as well as Iran. We know how much of it will be accepted by Israel, someone who is who started this entire assault on Iran, and of course the US has joined. I want to label out these 10-point proposals before I can ask Norman. One of the important proposals include the US should commit in principle to guarantee a non-aggression, Iran's continued control of the Strait of Hormuz, Iran's uranium enrichment right should be accepted, lifting of all primary and secondary sanctions, termination of all UN Security Council resolutions, termination of all IAEA Board of Governors resolutions, payment and compensation for damages inflicted on Iran, withdrawal of US combat forces from the region, cessation of all the war fronts, including against the heroic Islamic resistance in Lebanon. That's the last one that is coming up. I want to ask Norman, acceptance and the future days of April or future, how are we going to see the month of April coming down? 4 months into multiple geopolitical standouts, once in Venezuela, another in trying over Greenland, and finally now in the Middle East. You were hearing our senior journalist here in the studio, Abdul Bari, on his observations regarding this war, of the things that we have predicted for many, many weeks, how Donald Trump has stood his ground at the very end. I want to know how you are feeling about all of these build-ups. Norman.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity to respond. I see more of the same pattern as all of the conflicts we have endured this year. We're following the same pattern. It's almost like a script. We're going to address our country is going to address the 10 points. At the end, I see there will be conflict because the United States do not want to give up its position in the Middle East. So these points addressing basically our position with the Middle East, our allies over there who do not want and do not trust Iran in their future missions. However, the situation is more of an economic one. Basically, 20% of the world's commerce goes to that region, and Iran wants to basically control the flow. I see there's going to be issues because what we're dealing with is a larger issue. Is basically we're looking at the rise of the Chinese currency in response to the BRIC nations who want to set up a standards. China and Iran is working. They're doing very well in terms of trade and commerce, and they want to spread that through the world to have an alternative, not a replacement, but an alternative to the petrodollar and the U.S. dollar. They want to have their own petro yuan to work with that. Now, take in mind, this will not replace the petrodollar and the U.S. currency, but it will also provide an alternative for countries who want to work with deals that works for their best interest. The current situation dominated by the U.S. dollars, it doesn't work for most countries. It's advantages to the U.S. and it's dominant and it also creates what we call sanctions. The issues we're dealing with are sanctions. They want the sanctions removed. That's one of the things. Just like the Russia, they want the sanctions removed. So sanctions brings on hostilities, tariffs, and other things like that that causes countries to lash out and basically what we call survival. The best interests of countries. So all the countries are now looking at what is to our best interests. Which source do we use? Do we stick with the dollar or do we go to a new source? Can we guarantee that we are not going to be the next country that is going to be our sovereign powers are being threatened? Are we going to have to listen to one source who says, "Hey, you go my way, or we're going to destroy you or blow you back into
the Stone Ages"?
The Stone Ages. So these things, believe it or not, everything that comes out of the Trump administration right now is being assessed by every country, regardless of the size. How do they position? What happens if they tried the same thing with me? Can I resist? Can I do it? Or do I have to comply? So no one wants to be in a situation where they are threatened and forced to do something that is not in their best interest. Now, there's countries that it works well for because it works in their best interest. So right now, we're looking at how this deal is going to change the complexity of the multipolar world. It will change. I'm telling you, this ceasefire, or what I call a pause, will have to change and adjust for a future world. We now living in a multipolar world. We're not living in a world dominated by the dollar and the petrodollar. So that is definitely happening right now. The change is happening, how it happened, how long it takes, whatever. No military actions, no nuclear actions, no threats, no type of sanctions is going to stop this change. Change is happening as we speak. By the point of us talking about this, by the point of having a ceasefire and the military not going in, tells me that there's things that has to be conceded to.
Right.
There'll be concessions that have to be made by the United States. And one of them is basically how do we contain Israel at the same time, create more freedom and movement of the commerce and trade around the world. Israel is on a campaign, Gaza. Now we're looking at the same thing in Lebanon and the entire region. They are a very destructive party that intend to control that area themselves. But unfortunately, due to the circumstance of the world, and the United States is realizing that
Of course.
Israel cannot control that area. They will not be able to control that area. And our involvement with Israel, and it has to reflect on the best interests of our country also, just like other countries. They have to consider the best interests. So a point in time, the Israel situation is going to have to be evaluated. Is this in the best interest of where we want to go? So the deal maker, Donald Trump, is now doing what he does best, trying to make a deal.
Right. A very important commentary from Norman Floyd Barnes. I want to add a story here that would have some significant importance. Due to this war, the friendship between European nations and the United States have been strained to a certain degree. And today, there is a news that states Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez will make his fourth trip to China. As in many years this month, it's been widely expected Madrid seeks to build on economic ties, commercial ties with the world's second largest economy. How the U.S. will see this is a matter of question because allies are now slowly starting to depend on China. I want to allow senior journalist Abdul Bari. I'm sure he had some questions towards Norman Floyd Barnes. I want to know how you feel about these very issues as well.
The question is that due to the activities of the Donald Trump all over from the beginning of his second term, so far my knowledge and study after the talk of American people, maybe the majority portions of the people is not happy about the activities of Mr. Donald Trump. Last week, maybe I visited in Thailand. On that moment, a group of American senior citizens also, unfortunately, they are added with my truth team. And I discussed with the many senior American journalists about this war. They said that the people of America, majority percent people is not happy about the activities of the America. We are not in favor of the Donald Trump to start war. We want peace. So we saw the many states which already showed their demonstration against the unrest against the Donald Trump. After signing of this 10-point ceasefire, if it is confirmed that the permanent signing is confirmed, so in total, as per this 10 condition, is everything is established by the negotiations of the US and Iran, of course the good position will be back. If the position is back, so that Donald Trump will get chance to recover his lost image or the popularity or anything will be back. Again, is there any way the people of America will show their support to the Donald Trump after this signing? So you can tell us to me, us, not only me, what sort of thinking among the American people if Donald Trump successfully do all or bring back amen to the world and the American economy, then
Norman, how are you feeling about
for him
it?
or not?
Right.
Yes. Thank you for that commentary. The feeling of the people of the United States and other lawmakers is they don't The United States do not want this. It's 57% of the populations openly said we should not be in this war. The other remaining part of it, who is not public speaking, stating this is not something we should be in. This is something we're going to be affected. If we push on the way the plan of the Trump administration, the American people is going to suffer. However, the Trump administration will suffer in the polls, almost guaranteed, coming up in November, regardless. If everything goes back to where it was yesterday, it does not matter. It's already done. The situation is done. The trust is broken. The intent is
Right. As Norman was saying, as we were having a technical difficulty, the trust is broken. That is a very important comment that Norman has made. I hope it answers Abdul Bari's question.
We have another questions to Mr. Norman.
I hope the team can connect him. I want to ask you a very slightly different kind of question. How was your analysis regarding how it affects Bangladesh? For the last 40 days, we have seen how petrol queues have been continuously going over all the filling stations in Bangladesh. How do you see the handling of the situation here in our nation?
As per my policy, I am not going to make any odd statement to the ruling party and the others party. I like to maintain the neutral position. I am not the politically engaged with any political people, but I always spoke about the truth. Truth is that we have a sufficient fuel. The Minister of the Energy already told about it. Right. We have a sufficient fuel. The government and everybody is saying that we have a sufficient reserve to meet up the crisis of the demands of the people. So why this happened among the people? I'm coming back from the Kustia, and near about 250 kilometers I ran in the highway. Right. I look everywhere, is a big rush in the petrol pump. Somewhere is the big clash in between the sailors and the motorcycle riders. Why this happened? We are not going to follow the system. You look, it's very easy. I don't know why the government is not doing it. Simply, they will make one app. The app, like the Tawakkal Nama, in the Saudi Arabia. And if we're coming to Singapore, they have an app. Every country have an app. If you have a motorcycle or you have a car, then you will go registration in your vehicles to the app. As per this, you will demand that I need this fuel. Then as per policy of the government, he will allow, okay, you can take one tanky full petrol or gasoline or octane. You can take by the order of app. If the app will allow him to barcode, the people will take it and go to the pump station. Which pump station? This pump station. They will show it to the pump owner, right. Management. As per this barcode or the app permission, he will allow them one tanky fuel. Right. If condition is that after 7 days, you are entitled to get another issue, but within 7 days, you are not allowed to come. We have need to run your all activities within the limit of one tanky fuel.
Effectively, that would be called rationing as well.
Rationing. You look, we go to the Saudi Arabia, to Riyadul Jannah, there is the app. You have need to fill up the app. If you capable, then you are allowed to go inside of the Riyadul Jannah. But within this certain limit of time, you are second time not allowed to go there. Right. So we have the police app. We have a police app. We have a BRTA app. We have many government app is running now. Now the running. We have a BRTA app. If we start this rationing system by the app, then this big line no need. The people is hustling in the heavily sun heat, and the suffering people, road traffic jam, everything. So why the government is not arranging to set up this electric system, rationing system to provide the fuel to the vehicle owners? Say you look, the one motorcycle can at least 10 liter. The one right. car is consume can 30 liter.
Even more in some cases. If your car is an SUV, it is above yes. 50 liters.
The bus is same. Every container have the certain limit of capacity, which is written on their registration paper, how many fuel can be consumed. Then government, if they said, okay, the government is saying that I am going after big line and big weight, I am getting only the 5 liter fuel. You know, I am using car. So 5 liter fuel will not 50 kilometer only. If I go to the market office, then 50 car will not cover. So if we have sufficient reserve or stock to provide the fuel minister already said that. You told me.
Today there has been a ceasefire.
So,
do you think that the prices and these lines might reduce at the filling stations?
Crisis was not. It is always Bangladeshis people we are looking, the crisis is always artificial. Sometimes for the interest of the businessman, sometimes for the interest of the concerned officer.
So it is definitely man-made.
It is man-made and created. If the all sheaves is came in Bangladesh, if the management of the distribution is not go properly, then the crisis never be finished. It is the real practice of the Bangladesh. But only the government and the concerned people can stop this crisis. We have not any crisis. We know we have a sufficient diesel and petrol and the gasoline, etc. We have everything.
But still, there are some roadblocks between those who providing octane and diesel to those who require octane and diesel on a daily basis. It's very important.
So you using car, I using car. I know about the motorcycle consumption. Everybody have idea how many can. If you give me the 1 liter, I have need to after the finish of the 1 liter. Say my daughter or my son is going to school. We have a certain limit of uses per day. If you give me the 2 liter, then how it is meet up my thirsty or the crisis. So you have need to put, as because government is saying that we have a sufficient to provide. Why
Yet
you resting
petrol
like
stations have said that there is no stock.
Why you are telling that they only 2 liter?
Where is the confusion?
Only 200 taka, only 400 taka. And it, you know, the middle of
I must pay my taxes on time and I must pay them at 100%. Then why on earth would I have to have half a tank of octane and not a completely full tank?
Yes.
That is a very important issue.
You the money. I am giving you the money at first rate. Not only that, you know, my car is using octane. That is LPG. Yesterday I go per liter 18 taka maybe increase without any notice. So if the all fuel come in Bangladesh and all reserve is fulfilled, but the system is not correct or accurate, the crisis never be changed out. So it depends up to the distribution systems of the concerned authority.
Right. Very important discussion points today. I must thank senior journalist Abdul Bari. You have provided this channel, this show, International Affairs, with very important updates, not only here locally as well as regarding the Iran-US ceasefire. I must also thank Norman Floyd Barnes for joining us, for providing the American perspective, to provide his time and his insights into these worldwide issues. I want to finish today's show by letting everyone know today is 8th of April and it's significant. It remembers there is a significant historical passing. Popular painter Pablo Picasso had passed away in this very day in 1973. With that being said, I want to end today's International Affairs. We look forward to tomorrow's program with much more international updates. That's it for today. I am signing out.